In an absolutely shocking turn of events that's shaking the NFL landscape, Nick BOSA, the dominant defensive force for the San Francisco 49ers, has officially been traded to the Chicago Bears in what's being hailed as the biggest contract signing in Bears history. This seismic move not only alters the power dynamics on the defensive line, but also sends waves throughout the league, sparking heated debates and endless speculation about the future of both franchises. For years, BOSA has been a cornerstone of the 49ers' defensive identity, terrorizing quarterbacks with his relentless pressure, elite athleticism, and unmatched tenacity. The fact that the Bears secured him with a historic contract deal signifies their aggressive intent to rebuild and transform their defense into an unstoppable juggernaut. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing about what this means for Chicago's chances in the coming seasons and how this could potentially elevate their status from perennial underdogs to serious contenders. The trade also raises questions about the 49ers' strategy moving forward, given their parting ways with arguably the league's most fearsome pass rusher. This blockbuster deal is a game-changer in every sense, shaking up the offseason and adding an electrifying layer of drama as teams scramble to respond. The NFL offseason just got a whole lot more interesting, with Nick BOSA's move standing front and center in the headlines. The Bears front office deserves credit for pulling off a deal that instantly upgrades their roster and sends a strong message across the league. What makes this trade even more fascinating is the scale of the contract itself, which reportedly makes Nick BOSA the highest-paid defensive player in Bears history. This isn't just a flashy signing. It's a calculated investment in a player who has already proven his ability to dominate at the highest level. BOSA's combination of youth, skill, and proven production offers Chicago a defensive cornerstone to build around for years to come. The contract details, though not fully disclosed, are rumored to include substantial guaranteed money, making it clear that the Bears are all in on BOSA's impact. It also sets a new benchmark for defensive player salaries in the franchise, highlighting the team's commitment to prioritizing defense in their roster construction. With the salary cap becoming increasingly competitive, landing a player of BOSA's caliber at this scale speaks volumes about Chicago's financial strategy and willingness to compete aggressively. The Bears are betting that BOSA's presence on the defensive line will not only improve their sack totals, but also fundamentally disrupt opposing offenses, giving their secondary more opportunities to make plays. This move elevates expectations for the entire Bears defense and shifts the narrative around the team's offseason approach, signaling a new era where big, bold moves are the norm rather than the exception. Nick BOSA's career trajectory leading up to this trade perfectly explains why Chicago was willing to break the bank for him. From his rookie season, BOSA has consistently showcased an uncanny ability to read offenses, explode off the snap, and finish plays with brutal efficiency. His accolades include multiple Pro Bowl selections and an All-Pro nod, cementing his status as one of the premier defensive ends in the league. Beyond statistics, BOSA's leadership on and off the field has earned respect from teammates and coaches alike, making him a valuable locker room presence. The 49ers relied heavily on his ability to generate pressure in critical moments, often tipping the scales in close games. His knack for changing the momentum with timely sacks or forced fumbles was a key component of San Francisco's defensive success. Now, as he transitions to the Bears, the pressure is on for BOSA to replicate and even elevate that dominance in a new system. The Bears' defensive coordinator will undoubtedly build schemes around his unique talents, hoping to maximize his impact and create a ripple effect that boosts the entire defense. This trade not only impacts BOSA's career, but also reshapes the way Chicago approaches defensive football in the modern NFL era. The reaction from the fan bases has been intense and mixed, highlighting just how significant this move is for both cities. San Francisco supporters are grappling with the reality of losing a franchise-defining player, questioning the front office's long-term vision and what this means for the 49ers' defensive identity. On the flip side, Bears fans are ecstatic, finally seeing their team make a bold splash in free agency and trades, something that has been elusive for years. Social media exploded with hashtags celebrating BOSA's arrival, while analysts began re-ranking the Bears' defense as one of the most formidable in the league going forward. This trade instantly elevates the hype around Chicago's prospects, fueling optimistic projections about playoff appearances and even Super Bowl contention. The emotional roller coaster for fans is a testament to how much impact one player can have on a team's culture and outlook. It's clear that both franchises are entering a new chapter, with the 49ers potentially looking to rebuild or retool and the Bears embracing a win-now mentality centered around Nick Bosa's dominant presence. This level of fan engagement underscores the trade's magnitude, marking it as one of the most talked-about transactions of the offseason. From a strategic perspective, this move fits perfectly into the Bears' broader vision of becoming a defensive powerhouse. For years, Chicago has struggled to find consistent pass rushers who can disrupt offenses and create game-changing plays. Nick Bosa addresses that glaring weakness immediately, providing a game-wrecking edge rusher who demands double teams and frees up teammates to make plays. The Bears' defensive scheme, which emphasizes aggressive pressure and complex blitz packages, will benefit immensely from Bosa's versatility and athleticism. His ability to line up in multiple spots along the defensive front allows the coaching staff to deploy creative looks that confuse opposing offenses. This strategic upgrade not only improves individual matchups, but also enhances the overall defensive synergy, making the Bears a nightmare to face on third downs and in red zone situations. The front office's willingness to invest heavily in Bosa signals a clear shift toward a more aggressive defensive identity, which could have ripple effects on how the team approaches drafts, free agency, and player development in the coming years. This trade is more than just acquiring a player. It's a foundational move that could redefine Chicago's defensive philosophy for the foreseeable future. Financially, this blockbuster deal raises important questions about the Bears' salary cap management and long-term planning. Committing such a significant portion of their payroll to one defensive star means that the team will need to be shrewd in managing contracts for other key players to maintain roster balance. This move likely necessitates careful negotiations, and Bosa will pay dividends by elevating the team's competitive window, potentially attracting other high-profile players who want to join a winning culture. It also sets a pretension. The challenge will be balancing immediate impact with long-term sustainability, a tightrope walk the Bears must navigate carefully to maximize the value of this historic signing. On the 49ers side, trading away Nick Bosa opens up both challenges and opportunities. Losing a player of Bosa's caliber creates an immediate void in pass rush that won't be easy to fill. The team will need to rely on emerging talent and potential free agent signings to compensate for the loss. However, the trade also frees up significant cap space, which the 49ers can leverage to address other roster needs or invest in multiple impact players. This shift could mark a new chapter focused on building a more balanced and versatile defense, spreading responsibilities rather than relying heavily on a single star. Additionally, the 49ers might look to accelerate their rebuilding timeline by acquiring draft picks or younger players in exchange for Bosa's high-value contract. This strategy reflects a forward-thinking approach that prioritizes depth and flexibility over concentration of resources. The trade therefore signals a philosophical change for San Francisco's front office, possibly indicating a more cautious but diversified roster construction plan moving forward. The 49ers' ability to adapt and respond quickly will be key to maintaining their competitive edge in the tough NFC West division without their star pass rusher. The ripple effects of Nick Bosa's move to the Bears extend beyond just the two teams involved, impacting the entire NFL landscape and off-season narratives. Other franchises watching this deal will likely reevaluate their defensive, spending, and player acquisition strategies, particularly those in need of a pass rusher. Bosa's contract could set a new market standard, influencing how defensive stars are valued and negotiated in the future. Teams looking to contend might feel pressured to follow Chicago's aggressive approach or risk falling behind in a league that increasingly values defensive dominance. Meanwhile, Analysts and commentators are already speculating how this trade might alter playoff projections and divisional dynamics, especially in the NFC North, where the Bears are now serious contenders to dethrone the Packers and Vikings. The storyline stemming from this blockbuster move will dominate off-season discussions, social media, and even fantasy football conversations as fans adjust their expectations. Nick Bosa's arrival in Chicago isn't just a headline. It's a catalyst that could redefine team-building philosophies and competitive balance across the league. This is the kind of blockbuster trade that reminds us why the NFL offseason can be just as thrilling as the games themselves. As Nick Bosa settles into his new role with the Chicago Bears, the spotlight inevitably turns to how he will adapt to the team's culture and system. Transitioning from the 49ers, where he had an established role and chemistry, to a Bears squad hungry for defensive resurgence presents both challenges and opportunities. Bosa's work ethic and leadership qualities suggest he'll embrace the challenge head-on, quickly becoming a cornerstone not only on the field, but also in the locker room. His presence instantly elevates the expectations for younger defensive players who will look to him for guidance and inspiration. Moreover, Bosa's professionalism and competitive fire could instill a renewed sense of discipline and intensity throughout the Bears' defensive unit. This cultural shift is just as important as the on-field impact because winning teams thrive on strong, united locker rooms. The Bears' coaching staff will undoubtedly lean on Bosa's experience to mentor emerging talents, helping them refine techniques and master defensive schemes. As the offseason progresses, fans and analysts will watch closely to see how seamlessly Bosa integrates, and whether his influence helps transform the Bears into a fearsome defensive juggernaut that commands respect across the league. The impact of Nick Bosa's arrival also raises important tactical considerations for Chicago's defensive coordinator, who now has the luxury of designing schemes around arguably one of the league's most feared pass rushers. Bosa's versatility allows him to line up at multiple spots along the defensive front, creating matchup nightmares for opposing offensive lines. This flexibility means the Bears can employ a mix of zone blitzes, stunts, and varied pressure packages that keep quarterbacks guessing and offensive coordinators scrambling for answers. Additionally, Bosa's elite speed and power combination allows him to be effective against both the pass and the run, contributing to a more well-rounded defensive strategy. The coordinator's challenge will be maximizing Bosa's talents without overexposing him to injury risks, balancing snap counts while keeping him fresh for critical moments. With Bosa commanding so much attention, the rest of the defensive line and linebackers benefit from the space and opportunities he creates. This strategic shift could elevate the Bears' entire defense, making them a unit capable of controlling games and dictating pace, which is essential in today's offense-heavy NFL landscape. From a leadership standpoint, Nick Bosa's presence in Chicago can have transformative effects far beyond just statistics and plays. Known for his intensity and focus, Bosa is the kind of player who leads by example, setting a standard in preparation, work ethic, and competitive spirit. This trait can be contagious, inspiring teammates to elevate their own performance levels. The Bears have lacked a true defensive leader in recent years, which has contributed to inconsistency on that side of the ball. With Bosa's arrival, there's a clear figure to rally around, someone who embodies the toughness and relentlessness the franchise wants to build its identity upon. His role as a vocal leader and motivator will be crucial in fostering team cohesion and resilience, especially in high-pressure moments during games. Additionally, Bosa's experience in playoff battles with the 49ers brings valuable insight to a Bears team hungry for postseason success. His leadership will likely play a critical role in shaping the team's mindset and approach, turning Chicago into a tougher, more focused contender ready to challenge the league's best. Financially, this monumental signing will have a ripple effect on the Bears' roster management and future planning. Committing a significant portion of the salary cap to Bosa means the team will need to be particularly savvy in balancing contracts for other key contributors. The front office faces the challenge of maintaining depth across positions without sacrificing quality, which may mean prioritizing cost-effective signings and developing talent through the draft. This strategic balancing act is critical for sustaining competitiveness over multiple seasons. Additionally, BOSA's contract sets a new financial benchmark within the franchise, potentially influencing negotiations with current and future defensive stars. The Bears will likely use this signing as loop building a contender, but it also highlights the careful, complex planning required to manage a championship-caliber roster in today's NFL environment. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. For the 49ers, parting ways with Nick BOSA represents a pivotal moment that could redefine their defensive identity. While losing a player of BOSA's caliber is undeniably a blow, it also opens opportunities to retool and diversify their defensive strategies. The cap space freed by this trade gives San Francisco the flexibility to address multiple areas of need, potentially adding depth or acquiring complementary players to maintain overall balance. This approach reflects a shift toward a more holistic roster construction philosophy that relies less on a single superstar and more on collective strength. The 49ers could also use the assets gained from this deal to accelerate a youth movement, developing promising defensive prospects to build a sustainable core. However, the immediate challenge will be filling the pass-rushing void left by BOSA, a task easier said than done given his unique impact on opposing offenses. The team's coaching staff will need to adapt schemes and maximize available talent to mitigate the loss. Ultimately, this trade signals a strategic recalibration for San Francisco, balancing short-term challenges with long-term vision as they aim to remain competitive in a fiercely contested division. Looking at the broader NFL picture, Nick BOSA's blockbuster move to the Bears sends a strong message about the evolving value of elite defensive talent. In an era dominated by high-scoring offenses and quarterback-centric play, securing a disruptive pass rusher like BOSA has become a top priority for teams looking to gain an edge. His contract could set a new standard for defensive player compensation, prompting other franchises to rethink their approach to building defensive lines. This trend emphasizes the critical role of pressure in controlling games and influencing outcomes, underscoring how defense remains a vital piece of championship-caliber teams. Additionally, the trade highlights the increasing willingness of franchises to make bold, high-stakes moves in the offseason to accelerate their competitive timelines. As a ripple effect, teams in similar rebuilding or retooling phases might feel compelled to pursue aggressive acquisitions or long-term investments in defensive stars. The ripple effect from BOSA's signing may also influence draft strategies, with greater emphasis on securing pass-rushing prospects to keep pace with evolving league demands. This trade isn't just about the Bears and 49ers. It's a signal of the strategic shifts reshaping NFL roster-building philosophies. Social media and fan engagement around this trade have been nothing short of explosive, reflecting the intense passion football fans bring to their teams. The moment news broke that Nick BOSA was heading to Chicago, platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with reactions ranging from disbelief to celebration. Bears fans took to digital spaces to express excitement and optimism, using memes, videos, and hashtags that quickly trended nationwide. This viral response highlights the emotional impact a single player can have on a franchise's identity and fan culture. Conversely, 49ers supporters expressed a mix of sadness and frustration, debating the implications for their team's future and questioning management decisions. This dynamic illustrates how trades transcend mere roster moves, touching on community pride and collective hope. Furthermore, the media coverage and online discourse continue to fuel anticipation for the upcoming season, keeping the conversation alive and engaging both casual and diehard fans. The digital fervor surrounding BOSA's move exemplifies how modern sports narratives are shaped not only by on-field action, but also by the vibrant, real-time reactions of a global fan base. As the Bears prepare for the next season, all eyes will be on how quickly Nick BOSA can translate this historic contract into dominant performances on the field. Expectations are sky high, with fans, analysts, and teammates eager to see the immediate impact of his presence. The pressure to justify such a massive investment is immense, but BOSA's track record suggests he thrives under high stakes and intense scrutiny. His ability to produce game-changing plays, whether through sacks, forced fumbles, or pressure that leads to turnovers, will be crucial in shaping the Bears' defensive fortunes. The team's coaching staff will also play a vital role in optimizing his usage and ensuring he remains healthy and effective throughout the grueling NFL season. Success will require not only individual excellence, but also seamless integration with a broader defensive unit. If BOSA can deliver on this promise, the Bears could very well emerge as one of the league's most feared defenses, altering the balance of power in the NFC North and beyond. This storyline sets the stage for a captivating season filled with high stakes and compelling narratives around Chicago's defensive resurgence. Ultimately, Nick Bosa's blockbuster move to the Chicago Bears represents far more than just a player changing teams. It symbolizes a bold new chapter for the franchise and a potential turning point in the NFL's competitive landscape. The combination of a record-setting contract, a high-impact defensive talent, and a strategic vision focused on winning creates a potent mix that fans will be watching closely. This trade encapsulates the high drama and unpredictability that make the NFL offseason so captivating, reminding us that every decision has ripple effects that shape not only teams but entire leagues. As the Bears look to capitalize on this historic signing, the pressure and excitement will only grow, with each game providing a new chapter in the unfolding story of Nick Bosa's Chicago era. For the 49ers, it marks a chance to reinvent and adapt, demonstrating the cyclical nature of sports dynasties. In the end, this blockbuster trade is a vivid reminder that in football, as in life, change is the only constant, and sometimes it arrives with a thunderous roar. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.